Content warning for profanity, violence, and adult themes. Hello and welcome to Discount Storytime Season 2. This is Coffee McCann, and we're just going to jump right into today's episode, Kontract Killbots. Enjoy! Previously on Discount Storytime.
Don't you think it's too cold for ice cream?
Gail asked and shivered.
Are you cold? Here, take my jacket.
Wendell took off his jacket and wrapped it around Gail.
Before we go anywhere, though, I need to stamp your hand.
Dolly grabbed Wendell's wrist.
Benny, how dare you tattoo that word on a big boy?
Wendell sidled up to the urinal, tried zipping down his space uniform, which he refused to call a onesie, and just barely got it down in time before releasing a torrent of pee into the blue, swirling water of the urinal. It's Kumar, our ship's pilot. Well, it's his sister's birthday. The crew was standing around, well, not a memorial, but a very full urinal.
Next time, I will have my bumper ship ride. I swear it.
Our hero climbed into bed, and he slept soundly until Wendell awoke and immediately raced out of his room. Zetz, the ship captain, had told Wendell to find someone if he heard the klaxon, but nobody was around. He raced up and down empty corridors until he came to the ramp leading up to the flight deck. He ran up to find Zetz and Kumar, the ship's pilot, talking. Hey there, sport. You heard the klaxon, I take it. Don't worry, just a precaution. We came out of the wormhole, and at the first sight there was some beeping. Zetz pointed to a small, flat gadget on the dashboard. It was a black metal box with a small green bulb and a small red bulb. The green bulb was blinking. A label on the box read, Killbot Clanger 3000. When this alerts, the Killbots are probably nearby, but it's gone silent again. Sorry for the inconvenience. Well, shit. Wendell looked out at a large, not that Wendell had much to compare to, mind you, but seemingly a large spaceship. Definitely much larger than the Starship Scam Likely. It was sleek and covered in black metal, making it almost invisible against the darkness of space. What one could clearly make out was the rows of turrets above and below the ship. Zetz turned off the Killbot clanger, picked up the telephone receiver on the console, and dialed. Suddenly, his voice rang through the ship. We have Kontract Killbots starboard side. This is not a drill. All crews to stations. Wendell heard Dolly, the navigator, pass by the corridor.
You mean both of us?
Wendell asked, What's going on? Not now, said Kumar sternly. The stoic birdman's feathers were ruffled. Zetz said, Patch all communications through the PA. And after a moment, Dolly's voice came through the speakers and said,
Check incoming communication from Kontract Killbot Unit number 1104Z Zeta.
A smooth and soulless voice slid through the speakers. Greetings to members of the Starship Scam Likely. Ship license H87439. Is this information correct? Zetz answered calmly. Yes, how may we assist you? What is your business? We are providing passenger transport. We appreciate your peaceful assistance in advance. Like an alligator at the shoreline, a second kill ship slid out from nowhere on the port side. Kumar said, We're screwed.
If your passenger has done nothing wrong, then something can be arranged.
Wendell relaxed a little.
Can be arranged in the afterlife.
Wendell clinched. Zet said, let's skip the formalities. How much do we owe?
I don't think you're in a position to give orders. First, we read your charges. Anything else would be poor service.
Fine. Maybe we have a few minor contract breaks. We'll pay the fine and go about our day. Us transporting someone who's done anything wrong. And you, well, terrorizing the galaxy. Zetz couldn't help say it, but he knew that sarcasm is lost on most robots. The exception being the sarcasm bot on planet Tofoyer 3, the only robot never invited to parties. The Killbot began.
As an enforcement representative of the Intergalactic Contract Council, I am duly authorized to adjudicate the terms of resolution. Final say is mine, and if you don't like it, you can jump off. The Starship Scam Likely, formerly known as the Airplane Jefferson, then Starship Jefferson, then Starship Scam, is derelict in fulfilling social, economic, and various contracts as listed. A tally of fees will be assessed during this process. If there are reasonable and accurate appeals to be made, please make them to the Intergalactic Contract Council within 10 business days. Please note, death does not excuse you from filling out a customer satisfaction survey.
Kumar muttered, "Eat a dick, you dumbass tin box." His pupils widened and narrowed rapidly. Zetz cupped his hand over the receiver's mouthpiece and whispered, "Easy, big guy. I've got this. Just get ready, quietly. They're scanning the ship activity to get the jump on us if we try to dash. And Wendell, put on your seat harness." The Killbot said,
Are you in agreement with these terms? Signal either once for yes or twice for very much yes.
Kumar flipped the turn signal lever and the ship's headlights flashed once.
Right. Now to the list. You are in breach of contract as follows. Selling knowingly fraudulent shares of vacation investments. Vandalism of property.
My bad. That one's on me.
Chicken socks abduction. Running the Miss Kitty Yum Yum's Pleasure Palace and Tax Preparation Service. Kitty Yum Yum CPA. Get your taxes done while you fun.
That one's mine.
Multiple counts of tax fraud.
Also me.
Lascivious Dougie. Gesticulin hamster smuggling. Petty theft and petticoat theft.
Also me.
Multiple counts of public intoxication.
It was a fun weekend, though.
Multiple aggravated tavern brawls.
That's on me.
Gravitational indecency. Statutory hazelment. Disorderly conduct, trespass, shoplifting, reckless driving, and... You did that? In a church?
How much do we owe?
So far, 85 coins. So far.
The voice continued to rattle off a series of contract breaks, including larceny, tomfoolery, premeditated shenanigans, kindergarten fight club without a permit, and others. By the end, the grand total came to 563 coins. "Is that a lot?" asked Wendell, getting nervous. "Well, it's not nothing, but we can manage it. Finances will be a little bit tough till we can recover, but at least we're not shot at. Yet." Zetz told the Killbot, We can pay that. Just give us a tick and we'll transfer the coins over.
Oh, you misunderstood. This is only Volume 1.
I'm going to start getting the ship ready,
Kumar whispered.
Yeah, do that. Hold on, sport.
Zetz whispered to Wendell, then called to the other ship. Volume 1 on contract offenses, so how many volumes are there?
17,
replied the Killbot. Sensing its prey was getting nervous, both ships moved in to box in the Starship Scam Likely. Wow, that's going to take a bit more time. Tell me, what sort of payment plan specials are you running? Again, most Killbots don't understand sarcasm. Fortunately, they also don't understand delay tactics.
Nice delay tactic,
said the newly upgraded Killbot.
Damn,
hissed Zetz. During this time, the Starship Scam Likely crept backwards towards the wormhole's exit. What started off as a low hum began to grow. Now the ship was reverberating as it pushed harder and harder against the wormhole's forces. Benny shouted,
"Hey, Killbar, that sub-out relay isn't going to hold up much longer. We can't outrun these guys from sitting."
"I know. We're just getting a little push," Kumar said quietly and calmly. At first, the sight of the Killbots, Kumar was greatly agitated. But now that danger got closer, he seemed calmer, steadier.
You have been charged with, well, a whole bunch of contract defaults. The total sum is 340,000 coins. How do you plan to pay? Payment is due now. If you're unable to pay, I am authorized to seize your ship. You will be, of course, executed. In addition, our sensors indicate your ship has a faulty sub-out relay. We know you cannot outrun us. Resistance is not a good idea.
The ship trembled as it pushed its way backwards against the wormhole. Kumar whispered,
"Hey, Zetz, we gotta make a move."
"If they chase us, we're dead." Wendell discovered at that moment that his preferred fight-or-flight response was to sit quietly and whimper. The Killbot said,
Move away from the wormhole and prepare for boarding. Resistance is so totally lame. Besides, you cannot leave through that wormhole. It's an exit only. Do you need me to draw how wormholes work? Bring your ship here.
Zet said, "No, you come here." The ship rattled as Kumar moved it around from position to position in front of the wormhole. He found the spot he was looking for, and the ship, while still rattling, started to wriggle back and forth, but not going anywhere. Benny called out in a panicked voice,
"What are you doing? The relay's about to blow and then we're stuck."
Kumar muttered,
"Just a little more. Come on, hurry up."
Kumar cocked his head and listened for something. The ship rattled louder and louder, when suddenly the rattling was overtaken by something both near and far at the same time, like putting one's ears to train tracks. Kumar turned off the ship and held up his keychain, which had a small plastic-framed picture of another bird person. She was younger and wore a mechanic's jumpsuit. This must have been his sister, Goldie. Zetz called into the receiver. "Okay, come aboard. We don't have any coins. We surrender." Then he called into the corridor. "Hold on, everybody." The kill ships began their approach.
It's about time you came to reason. Now, if you will please fill out these pre-execution satisfaction surveys.
The kill ships moved in, and Wendell saw how cold and efficient these killbots were. "Well, I guess I can put that on my survey. Great trip, lovely dying. I was able to see the whole galaxy and my own disemboweled guts in one go. 5 stars. although it was getting harder and harder to think, along with that great noise going on. No wonder the ship's engine was about to go the way it was, rattling and shaking. But it shouldn't be. Kumar turned the ship off. The Killbots had the ship flanked on both sides and were about to board. And the great noise wasn't just the ship. Another great sound was rumbling behind them, and it was quickly getting much louder. Wendell turned around to look when Kumar said in the rearview mirror, "Best if you stay leaned back against your headrest, little man.
I will now read you your rights. None. You have none. Your ship will be sold at auction and the proceeds will go to the council. Remember, resistance is futile."
At that moment, several things happened at once. A great ship surrounded with inflatable rings punched out of the wormhole, and its large rubber bumper collided with the starship like a cue ball. Immediately, the starship was up and going, and Kumar restarted the ship's engine. This short period of rest, although not much, gave the sub-out relay enough time to cool down and recover, and it hummed back to life. The kinetic energy of the collision was enough to send the little starship soaring away, and Kumar was using the ship's engines just enough to keep from spinning out of control. At the same time, 2 kill ships were knocked away at right angles, like the opening break of a pool game. And Benny screamed,
Wee-ha! I got my bumper ship ride!
The Killbots, who were not prepared for such a jolt, were thrown off and confused for a very long time. Unfortunately, a very long time for a Killbot is 0.000000001 microseconds. The kill ships immediately gave chase. Kumar punched it, and the starship, now with its kinetic boost and recovered engine, shot forward towards Pariah 7, leaving the kill ships in the galactic dust. Once safely away, the crew took a break. They would soon arrive at Pariah 7. Wendell went to his cabin to change when he saw Pariah 7 from a distance. It clearly looked like a planet. Yep, a brown planet with maybe clouds or lakes. Wendell really didn't know. He changed out of his uniform. Yes, technically a onesie, but he refused to call it that. Into his street clothes, earth clothes. He wondered what everyone wore on Pariah 7, and where would he live, and how soon could he get back home? Alone in his cabin, he thought of his home, of his fiancée Gail, and how he missed her. But when he got home, he would have such stories to tell. As he thought about that, he saw the torn Hang In There poster, now of a gopher-dragon hybrid, holding onto a branch maybe? Wendell looked through the small desk in his cabin, found some tape, and put the poster back together. Zet stopped in to say goodbye, and Wendell asked,
"So are all Killbots that dangerous?"
"Pretty much. Watch out for them, sport, okay?" Wendell nodded. Benny wanted to say goodbye, but Kumar asked him to take a look at the footage of his sister's memorial. It's so weird, we can't understand what happened to it. Oh, and I want you to have these. He gave Wendell a pair of fingerless gloves. They're to cover your hands if you get cold.
Are the tattoos really that bad?
Zetz grimaced, then laughed. Oh, worse. Well, good luck, Wendell. It was a pleasure meeting you, and good luck on Pariah 7. If you ever need a ride, just let us know, okay, sport? He gave Wendell a firm handshake, smiled, and walked out. Wendell walked to the transporter booth where Dolly was waiting. She grabbed Wendell's hand.
So, sweetie, did you remember everything? Do you have enough warm clothes?
She handed him a scarf, which felt heavier than it looked. "Oh, thank you. Thank you, Dolly. I love it." Benny's voice echoed through the ship.
What the shit? What the actual shit? Hey, Q-Bar, you gotta see this.
Okay, stand over on the pod when you're ready to beam down. Now, I haven't done this in a while, so I need to look up one thing first. It'll be just a bit.
Dolly started slowly moseying to the transport beamer panel. Wendell could hear Kumar thudding down the corridor. "What, Benny? What do you have to show me?"
Oh no, oh no, oh no.
"What the shit? What the shit, Wendell? You're a dead man." Dolly asked.
Well, sweetie, are you ready to beam down yet?
Yes.
The corridor shook as Kumar ran. He entered the transporter booth holding his anti-theft club. Like a bolt, Zetz and Benny rushed in and tugged at Kumar to keep him away from Wendell. Wendell could see tears and blind rage in Kumar's eyes.
I'm sorry, I didn't know.
Dolly paid no attention to the commotion, put on her reading glasses, and opened the transporter manual.
What was that code again? Oh dear. Nope, it's not that one. No, not that one either.
"Don't do it, Dolly. He's mine. He pissed in Goldie's memorial." Dolly waved a dismissive hand at Kumar for him to quiet down while pushing different buttons on the controls. Wendell, now drenched in sweat, was about to ask what could he possibly do to make it better when Kumar broke free of Zetz, pushed Benny aside with his knees, and stormed towards Wendell. He held up the metal club, and Wendell held up his hands in defense, and then was overtaken by a bright light. Everything went dark and silent. Then Wendell's legs went cold and wet. His vision returned, and he was standing in a small creek in some sort of viscous fluid. Unfortunately, his smell came online next, and an acrid stench attacked his nostrils. Next to him was a short, goose-like creature, but with blotchy skin instead of feathers, and large muscular arms and hands instead of wings. It looked at Wendell through a small black eye mask, and its beak curled up in a surprised smile. It was, well, kinda cute, in a so ugly it's cute sort of way. "Oh, hi there, little fella. How are you?" Wendell reached down to pet the goose creature when it said,
Got any cash?
"What? You can talk?"
Cash. Got any?
said the goose and flicked open a small butterfly knife. Wendell reflexively reached for his wallet. Wait, his wallet was in his jacket pocket that he gave to Gale on Earth. Oh, what? His driver's license, credit cards, anything. No, Ow! Wendell yelped as the goose stabbed at Wendell's shin.
Cash!
The weird goose creature honked and stabbed. Frightened, Wendell ran away through the thick, murky water with the goose on his heels, slashing at every chance. A voice shouted out,
Wendell! Dr. Wendell Glick, this way!
A wire fence stretched along the creek, and on the other side someone was waving arms and jumping next to an open gate. Wendell finally cleared the viscous fluid and made a full sprint, or at least the best sprint he could muster with his shoes heavy and sloshing. The goose also cleared the muck and kept just behind a screaming and crying Wendell. Soon he passed the gate, and the person shut it quickly. The goose thing, seeing its prey escape, honked out a few choice words and waddled back to the creek. Wendell, breathless and doubled over, noticed a sign on the gate that said, Bile Creek, Danger, Robber Geese, Do Not Enter.
Dr. Glick, what were you doing in Bile Creek?
asked Wendell's rescuer. She was about 5'5", humanoid, wore green hospital scrubs and a white lab coat. The name tag said Dr. Lucy Loggins, Chief Resident Physician. She would have looked like any other healthcare professional on Earth, except she was a fox, and not like Foxy, but a literal fox. 2 large pointed ears jutted back as she stared at Wendell curiously with large, bright blue eyes. Auburn fur covered her triangular face, with white fur on her chin and neck. Her small snout extended out to a black point that bobbled up and down as she talked.
I'm Lucy, your chief resident. I got an alert that you would be arriving in this area very soon.
Was about all Wendell could muster. Her petite nose retracted at the stench of bile on Wendell's shoes and legs.
I'm guessing you would want to clean up first, but let's get a bob on. Orientation has already started.
Lucy looked back to where Wendell had come from and asked,
So, where's your stuff?
Thanks for listening. I hope you're enjoying the show, and if you are, please consider sending it to someone. Well, we got nothing in the discount mailbag this week, but if you have something to say or a question about the show or one of the show's characters, write in and I'll read it on the show, or one of the characters will answer. Contact information is in the show notes, and until next time, be sure to play nice with others, be super duper kind to yourself, and as always, remember to laugh. Bye!